Yo, did you see the hit? Did you see that hit? It's the hit heard round the, okay, maybe around the corner at your local bar. It wasn't heard around the world, but he got lit up. If the AAF needed something to start things off right, it was something that would go viral. And that hit on Berkovici, man, I practiced the name too. The quarterback from the San Diego Fleet, Berkovic. Okay, I can't get the name right. Screw it. You know who I mean. He got lit up. If you needed something to get people talking, that was it. And what's up with the Buffalo Wild Wings uniforms that the Fleet was wearing? Who picked the colors? Anyway, sorry for the late introduction, but once again, it's your boy Kill Switch, and I'm talking about the AAF, the Alliance of American Football. I have to say I was impressed. Not in a way, how can I word this? I was impressed at the presentation. I mean, I knew it was going to be big time. It's Ebersol's son, so he knows TV in and out. They have players that are on the board. You didn't get too many details, and that's because most people weren't talking about it. But you know, it's not a major league like the NFL. It's more of a minor league, or like the independent baseball leagues, like I mentioned last time I spoke about the AAF. They're not trying to compete. They're just trying to put on a good product, and it'll be almost like a minor league or like NFL Europe or something like that, where players can go and get a second chance. Because right now, there is no NFL Europe. So what do you do if you want to play football after college? Or you're a guy who wants a second chance, like Christian Hackenberg. And, oh my God, he was horrible. Christian Hackenberg was bad. They said, oh, he revamped his throwing style and all that. Come on. He did the same thing on that field that he did in the NFL. Nothing. I'm surprised he stayed in the whole game. Maybe it was just because they wanted to try and prove that he had something. But yeah, that experiment needs to end. He had to have some talent to get into the NFL, but he has not shown it. And people were always questioning his throwing style anyway. So, it is what it is. But in terms of the football, it was pretty good. You would not have been able to tell it wasn't the NFL. They were good. It wasn't like a whole bunch of penalties or offsides all the time or things like that. They put on a good show. The one thing that I can't stand is the CBS broadcast style. I never liked it. That's why I don't even watch AFC football, because it's on CBS. To me, it looks too, I don't know if clean is the right word, but it makes it like it looks smooth, but for some reason, it feels more like a high school game than NFL. If you watch the NFL on Fox, you can tell there's a major difference in the production style. Even NBC, but NBC is clean, super clean. It's like everything else is low def and NBC is high def. That's basically what it looks like. But CBS just doesn't have that look. And that's the one thing that's going to be a thorn in the side of the AAF. And it is awkward trying to say that. I'm just saying the Alliance. The games were on the CBS Sports Network, which I'm not sure everyone gets. I wasn't even sure if I get it. Then you're going to have games on the NFL Network, which is interesting. I guess they're just looking for more programming because I wouldn't have expected these leagues to be on that channel. And I would not be surprised if the Freedom League and the XFL also get the same type of deal, because it just gives them more programming. As you know, a channel without programming is nothing. Fans of wrestling or people who know about the industry will know that's why WWE buys catalogs of other wrestling companies or buys the company outright, because it fills up airtime. You don't want to have a channel that's just showing 1 hour of whatever all day. You want to mix it up. So the NFL Network was a great move, but games will be on CBS Sports Network. They will be on the NFL Network. They will be on TNT. I even heard it's going to be on Barstool. The only time I heard of Barstool broadcasting anything was the Tiger Woods Phil Mickelson thing. That was atrocious because they had to refund everybody. I'm sure they've done other things, but yeah, that just splinters the audience. Besides that, the football was decent. I wanted to see this onside kick thing that they do, but I didn't see it in the time that I was watching. There's what they do, instead of an onside kick, basically you're on 4th down and you had 12 yards to go. And you start from the 28, I believe. So what you would do is, if you make the 12 yards, then you keep the ball. Otherwise, it's a turnover. And what's the word I'm looking for here? There's some rule where if you score within the last 5 minutes and the score is like over 17 points or something like that, where you just automatically go for the onside kick. I need to look the rule over. It's something like that. I don't have it exactly, but it's an interesting concept. And since the NFL basically killed the onside kick, it might be something they look into. That's probably another reason for the NFL Network, because they're going to be looking at it to see what they can pick out of there. Just like they took the Sky camera from the XFL. So for them, it's an interesting experiment. Right now, it works. The first week saw all the home teams win. You got to see players like Trent Richardson, who he had 20 carries but had less than 50 yards, but he was the star of the game because he did score. Who else was there? Trying to think of who else that I can pick out. Berkovitzi. Man. Well, the quarterback who got lit up. You had good defense in the games. One game was really lopsided, like 40-6. It was interesting watching them score a touchdown and then have to do a 2-point conversion automatically. There's no extra points. It's just you go for the 2-point conversion, and that, I don't know if it'll make its way to the NFL, but it is interesting. I would say I was impressed by the showing they had. I wasn't expecting anything. I mean, it's football, just like the Arena League or any other league. The Arena League is still out there. I knew there was another place where players can go, but the rules are different. Usually, NFL will pick from someone who's playing in the NFL. It's usually you don't see CFL and Arena League players unless they're like defense. But if it's someone like a quarterback, for whatever reason, they seem to go more towards players who've been in the NFL or players who have been scouted for the NFL, but they usually don't go for someone in those leagues. I guess it's because the rules, things are different. Those things are geared more towards offense. And now that the NFL is geared towards offense too, that may change. Especially with these new spring leagues where they can just pick players from there. Uh, can't think of anything else that stood out, but it was a good showing for a first week of a new league. Hope to see more from them. I really wasn't expecting much, but I didn't expect the product to look so polished, especially when they weren't making any noise. You didn't hear much about it until almost game time, and that's not usually how it works with independent leagues, because I did attempt to make an independent baseball league, and you have to ramp up to that date because you need advertisers, you need fans to know they're coming. And that was another thing that I saw. They had a decent amount of fans, even with the free tickets that were given out to the military. You're going to have to build a fan base. That's something with a new league. But it is football, and people were there. You don't have the high salaries, so you don't have some people who just hate the player because their salary or whatever. They're pretty much making regular everyday salaries. I think the high is 100,000, and then everyone's making 50, 60, 70,000 like you would at a normal 9-to-5 job. So good show by the AAF. Hopefully the other leagues will do the same thing. Vince McMahon's going to put on a good production. That's just the way he is. The Freedom League, I still have no clue what they're doing yet. But so far, so good. Hopefully, next week will be even better. Once again, this is Killswitch signing off.